Okay, hey guys. This is going to be a short tutorial on how to set up a RankerX campaign. So what I'm going to do is show you sort of a walkthrough of what I would do setting up a campaign to rank this specific page, which is just like a bike, a mountain bike that people would want to buy. I'm going to show you how to set up a campaign wizard. It's basically all you'll ever need, so I just figured that I may as well put this together just for people who aren't familiar with the software, or who don't really know what they're doing or don't have it yet and want to see what it's capable of. Yeah, let's get into it. So each one of these is a different feature. You can set up all your things like your email list, your proxies, things like that, and options. Email list, same thing. Private networks you can use to load up properties that you already own, like web tools or PBNs, and post through the software to them. Custom sites is sort of similar. Wizard is what we're in now. This is what you'll be using most of the time to build up projects. Turbo Wizard, same thing, but it's a little bit quicker. I would suggest you just use the regular wizard. It's more effective, so don't worry about the turbo wizard, just use the regular one because it has everything you'll ever need. Blurbs I also don't really use. That's useful if you're doing like social bookmarking and things like that, but like I said, because I'm just showing you a quick example of a tier 1 structure, you don't really need to worry about that. Content buckets, those are just folders for content that you've put together for specific topics. Each project you do will have a specific content bucket, and each tier will also have its own specific content bucket. So that's something we'll get into, but first, this is just the basic interface here. This is how you put things together. You just sort of drag and drop elements from here onto here and then connect them up like that. So I have a pretty simple structure here. It's just the target URL and then article directory, wiki, and then 2 indexers beneath it. How it works is, as you set this up, RankerX will build out the projects from the bottom up. So it'll do sort of one by one each step. Like it'll build first it'll build the profiles necessary to post on your article directories and your wikis, then it'll try to post on both of them. Once that's successful, it'll build out the profiles needed to do the indexing, and then it'll post those. And then once that's done, you'll have a complete campaign, and you'll be able to go in and check out your finished link sets. So just move on to basic info here. There's 2 different features you can use. I use anchor text in MoneySite. It's just easier to sort of put together for. Because I'm just doing one URL here, I just have the URL and then I have all the keywords that I wanted to target here. Custom bikes, dirt jump bikes, mountain bikes, whatever. I think I have 5 keywords that I'm doing here. You need to make sure that when you put yours together that you format it in the way that this is formatted here, or else it won't work. So make sure that if you're doing multiple URLs, everything's formatted properly, because if you don't do it right, it's just not going to work. Okay, or it'll post something incorrectly and the whole thing will be a waste of time. So just make sure you do that correctly. This is sort of creating your profiles. There's email server settings, server address, email password, mail server, all those things. You can download pre-created emails. If you don't have any emails of your own, you can do that. Or if you buy your own emails, then you can load them in to the email list here and then download them from that email list. Just for this example, I'm just going to use their pre-created emails. Then you can just hit test email. Okay, it's testing. Okay, so it's logged in, so we're all good. It's going to work. I'm going to use the same profiles just because I'm just doing the one tier. I'm not doing like a massive tiered structure. I'm not going to worry about that. This is the content bucket. So remember that it's just a folder that you use. I don't worry about this because I'm not doing any of that. I'm just gonna, I'm not doing several tiered structures, so I don't worry about using the link set. But if you're familiar with other automated tiered link building software, then you'll understand that lower levels build to higher levels, build to the top layer, which passes on to other structures, which passes on to the money site. So basically, that's what this is talking about here. I'm just doing one link per article for this example, and I've loaded some tags up here. Tags, you can basically use your keywords again. It doesn't really matter. You can do all sorts of research on tags, but for the most part, a couple works just related to the keywords you're going after. You can view your content bucket too. So I'll just give you a quick example of it. So here you can use the built-in article builder. I'd be careful using this because I tested it out a couple times and it seems like a lot of people are using it right now. So you're running an incredibly high risk of duplicate content. It's probably best to either use pre-built software or just write the posts yourself or have someone write them for you. Like I said, because this is just an example, I'm going to use their pre-built articles and I'm just going to spin them with the best spinner, which I loaded up in options here. You can just load up your API key for several different things. I'll let you guys figure that out. That's not that hard. Okay, so as you see, get your title, get your spinner body, your content. You can auto-generate author, name, and bio. Again, be careful doing this because it's pretty terrible stuff. I mean, it's exactly what you would expect from sort of automated, spun-out content. It's just, you know, it's good for lower level stuff, but I wouldn't point it directly at a target site. You'd want to write that stuff all yourself. And then you can do article previews. And you can just keep previewing, and it'll just keep spinning and showing you different variations. So that's pretty straightforward. I'm not going to worry too much about else that. But yeah, there's also different things. You can article builder, leading articles, type in an article, or use their article builder. Again, that's really up to you, and I'm not going to sort of handhold you on that one. You can figure that one out for yourself. Site selection here. Private group is if you've uploaded a private group of your own sites. Like I said, if you have web tools or something, you can just upload them and it'll post through them. There's lots of different tools that will do that for you. So that's not necessarily anything special, but it's pretty unique and helpful if you've got a ton of things that you're doing at one time and don't have time to sort of manually manage your properties like that. These are all just sort of proportions. If you're doing everything, this is how you set the proportion that you want of each type of link. Again, because I'm only doing article directories and wikis, I'm not going to worry about this. And I always say select high PR sites first. It just seems like a reasonable decision. I mean, it's just something that I'm going to do. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to. Same thing for my tier 1 or tier 2. Basically the exact same thing. I don't really mess around with this stuff. I don't worry about it because I know what I'm doing. But if you want to play around with it, figure out what you're doing. If you've got all sorts of things here, got like a massive 5-tier structure or something, then you can think about this more carefully. But because I'm only doing a test example, yeah, I'm not going to show you how to do it. And then there's quick site selection too, which you can do like 10 sites, 20 sites, 30 sites, 40 sites, and then just set percentages of each. But like I said, I'll let you guys figure that one out for yourself. You can go into scheduling. So let's say I wanted to start tomorrow. You can set the time to tomorrow at 12 o'clock. And I wanted to run over the course of 30 days. Then you just hit save. Saves the wizard. And the last step is just confirm and create, name it, save and create the campaign. And once you do that, it'll be moved to campaigns up here. And then you can go watch the progress of each one of your sections of the posting that you'll be doing. So first it'll show like account creation, and then it'll move on to posting the higher level stuff, and then it'll move on to the lower stuff, and then it'll move on to the indexing stuff at the bottom. So like I said, it's pretty straightforward, but ultimately you guys are going to have to just sort of play around with it and figure out what works for you. Nobody's going to be able to tell you how to do this. I just figured I'd give you a quick walkthrough on how to set up a wizard campaign and things like that. So I wish you guys luck, and hope to see you around. Oh, by the way, if you don't have this software yet, you can visit the link that I listed below, and you can buy it with a 25% discount using the coupon code buy now. Like I said, that's all at the link below, so just check it out, and I'll have all the information in the description. Thanks again. See ya.